Hello, I'm Brianna Johnson, and I'm interviewing Neal Johnson on the Baltimore Riots of 1968. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, so let's get started. How old were you when the riots started?
68.
About 13.
About 13.
Yeah, 13. Um, how did you feel about Dr. King's death during that time?
That time I was 13 years old, so I was kind of like not really too in tune to Dr. King as far as what was going on as far as the civil rights movements and stuff like that. Because at that time I was in elementary school, and no, I was in junior high school, and so we wasn't really in tune to as far as what was going on as far as civil rights.
Right. Okay. Did you live near an area that was affected by the riots?
Yes, I did. Actually, I lived right around the corner from a police station, and during the riots, they called in the National Guard, and what the National Guard did was they came down and they fortified the police station because they thought that the police station was going to get attacked. So they put barbed wire all around the police station, and they sandbagged, and they had their big military vehicles there, and they were on guard 24/7.
Okay. How did you feel when you heard that Dr. King got shot? Like, you said that you weren't in tune,
Right, I
but
wasn't in tune, so I didn't. I kind of like didn't feel indifferent. I was sad that Dr. King died because the works that I've heard that what he was doing, but as far as actually knowing, I really didn't know how I felt. It's just that I didn't like seeing what was going on as far as
right.
the neighborhoods because a lot of the destruction that was going on was in black neighborhoods, and so I really didn't care too much for the seeing of that.
Right, and I researched that, and it said that all the riots had happened in black neighborhoods, but the white businesses were in the black neighborhoods, so that's
Right, that's where
why.
the white businesses was, but those were the same stores that we used to go at to buy our foods, and then we were destroying the stores. So then now we had to go further out to get what we needed.
So how was it going to school?
Going to school was it wasn't that bad going to school uh, at that time.
Were there white people in school, like white teachers and
No,
white
at that
students?
at that time, schools in the black neighborhoods was most predominantly black. Teachers trying to think. I don't recall ever having. It might have been maybe a handful of white teachers there, but I don't think they was affected by that as far as the school system goes.
Okay. How was your everyday life affected? Like going out and hanging out with friends?
It was affected only towards the evening hours because during that time it was a curfew. They imposed a curfew.
The city did or your
The
parents
city
did?
imposed a curfew, so you had to be off the streets at a certain hour. At a certain hour.
Okay. Were your parents worried at all?
That I'm not sure. If they did, they didn't show it.
Okay. Um, did you know anyone that got hurt during the riots?
No.
What type of job did your parents have?
My father worked for Westinghouse. I believe he worked in the supply area. My mother did domestic work. She did housework, domestic work, housework.
For white people?
Yes, she worked for white people. She used to catch the bus and go out to people's homes and clean and do the laundry and stuff like that.
So since she worked for the whites, was she able to work during that time?
Yes, she was.
Okay. Um, was there any type of recognition of Dr. King's death, like in schools or on the news?
During that time, yes, in remembrance of him doing his funeral and all. Yeah, there was a lot of recognition during it. People was watching it on TV, and and stuff like that. A lot of people really older people took it very hard. Very
Right.
sad.
Did you know anyone participating in the riots?
Um, Probably my friends' brothers and uncles and cousins and stuff like that. Was riots basically was going around smashing and grab stuff, looting stores and stuff like that. So neighborhood stores. So my friends' older brothers and uncles and stuff like that probably did that. Yes.
Yeah, because I read that a lot of teenagers were involved. Um, what was your overall experience of the events? Like, let's see. How did you feel about it?
Like I said before, at that age, I really didn't have a feeling of one way or another. Like I said, I was saddened about the situation and all of that had occurred. But as far as young, I was too young to really feel any indifference about it.
Okay. And would you say that you learned anything from this event?
Sure, as you go along, as far as history, everything it's a part of history, and as you get older, you learn how powerful of a man he was, and what his movement was trying to do for people in general, not just blacks, but for all race and creed.
Okay, well, that's it. Thank you.
You're quite welcome.